Hi everyone, so today I am filming My Lil Bratz collection video. I say collection and not all my dolls because I'm also going to include My Lil Bratz playsets because I have quite a few things. I do want to say that most Lil Bratz dolls don't come with special names, and by that I mean that most of your generic Lil Bratz that came in little like zipper cases were all marketed as like funky fashions. So the names that I'm telling you that these dolls are based off of the like mini outfits that they're wearing. So most of the Lil Bratz who are generically packaged are wearing clothes that were made for full-size Bratz. So like they have miniature Express It dolls, miniature Funk and Glow dolls, things like that, but they're not actually labeled as that, if that makes sense. So this makes identifying Lil Bratz dolls really difficult because you can't just like go to Google or go to eBay and like search Lil Bratz Express It because it won't pop up. So it does get confusing for that reason. And also in 2004 MGA stopped calling the Lil Bratz by like the big dolls' names, so Yasmin, Chloe, Jade, Sasha, and the boys who were Cameron, Dylan, Eaton, Coby, they changed their names and like their eye colors and stuff. So like Chloe became Alani, Yasmin became Talia, Jade became Natalia, and Sasha became Zeta. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. So that's also a little confusing. I don't have any like really great websites for Lil Bratz to recommend to you. It took me years to kind of make my own little guide on them. But if you're looking to identify dolls and clothes, feel free to check out my Lil Bratz album on Flickr. I have facial close-ups of all these dolls, pictures of all their outfits. So I hope that it helps you out. This might be a little confusing for that reason. So I'll let you know if like the doll didn't come with a name and what the mini outfit is. Lil Bratz are the oldest spin-off line for the Bratz franchise. They came out almost right alongside the full-size Bratz, so they're very tiny, and that's why in the beginning they were like perfect little mini replicas, and then as the Bratz brand evolved they kind of became their own thing and they ended up getting discontinued. They're one of my favorite spin-off lines. It's really hard to say, and it might be between them and the kids, I'm not sure, but I always really liked the look of these dolls when I was younger and Bratz came out. My sister and I loved miniature dolls when we were really little kids. Like, we were obsessed with them. And if these had been out when we were really young, we would have had like oodles of them. But because they weren't like super cheap and because I would have rather had full-size Bratz, I never ended up getting any of these as a kid. So when I got my first ones in 2011, like just in a bin with full-size Bratz dolls, it was like a dream come true, and since then I've become really into collecting them. So I have quite a few. I have a lot of duplicates, and that's part of why I pulled these guys off the shelves to show you, because I don't want you getting confused, because between them not having special names and me having so many duplicates and them wearing the wrong clothes. So without further ado, I'm going to show you each of my dolls. So this is just a quick pan. You can see I have a lot of duplicates. So this is first edition Lil Bratz Yasmin, sorry. So she is made to wear first edition Yas clothes, and this was the first wave of Lil Bratz. They don't have an official title, that's just what people call them. Now they did come in like 2 different style outfits. So like mine came with little Yas clothes, but some of them came with like little Chloe clothes. They tend to like mix clothes up between characters, if that makes sense. So I got her in, I want to say 2013 or 2012. She was in a little Ziploc bag of Lil Bratz that I got at the flea market, and actually that seller who sold me these sold me my very first secondhand Bratz and my very first Bratz dolls I got as an adult. So 03 Slumber Party Yas and Strut It Megan. So she's really special for that reason. This was one of my very first Lil Bratz. This is Nighttime Funk Yasmin. She was sold in a 4-pack with Chloe, Jade, and Sasha. I don't have Chloe or Sasha, but they're like miniature Funk and Glow dolls, and they kind of like wear hybrids of the original doll's clothes, and she's got this really cool hairstyle. And I got her in Bratz Sky Bin in fall of 2011, so I got her and several other Lil Bratz, and those were my first ones. So she's really special to me, and she's kind of derpy looking, but I love her. So then these 3 over here are second edition Yasmin. So these were, I believe, the second wave of Lil Bratz that ever came out, and their outfits are actually not based on big Bratz Dolls clothes, so that's why I'm calling them second edition. So I have 3 of them. This lady I got boxed at the flea market. I think she was like $5 or something, and even though I already had the other 2, I really wanted her because it's hard getting a hold of little Bratz clothes, and she was perfect. And then this one I got from eBay. So I really needed little Bratz clothes because my dolls were like pretty much out of shoes and clothing pieces. So I got a little Bratz case with several dolls, and she was one of them. And then I believe I got her in a little bag with this Yas. I got quite a few. I don't remember exactly where she came from. This is Slumber Party Yasmin. So this is one of the sets that's not confusing. So they're called Slumber Party like they're big counterparts, and they're wearing the right clothes. So this was my first one. I got her in a bag with my second Formal Funk Sasha doll. Basically, during the summer of 2011, my dad and I went to this really big outdoor flea market, and I saw this Formal Funk Sasha, and I already had her at the time, but I really liked this little Bratz doll. But for some reason I didn't buy it that day, and then like the following year in 2012, after he passed away, that same bag with Sasha and Yas turned up at my local flea market from a different seller, because sometimes flea market sellers swap things around, so that must have been what happened. So I had to buy it, and she's super sentimental for that reason. She reminds me of my dad. And then I got this one in that eBay lot, and she had like most of her stuff. So. And then we have Miniature Express It Yasmin. So this line did not come with a special name, but they are dressed like the Express It dolls, and they're actually wearing the right clothes. So she's wearing full-size Yaz's clothes. So this was my first one. I got her in a little baggie at the flea market with first edition Yas. I saw this doll and Express It Jade at my flea market. I want to say it was in 2014. The seller had them, and he wanted a little bit more money than I wanted to pay, I think. And so, because I already technically had Jade and Yas already, I left them behind, and then I really regretted it because, like, I needed clothes. So, I ended up finding them a few months later. He came back, and I found them, and I was really, really excited. And I do have box pictures of these dolls on my Flickr, if you want to see. Talia, so these are the Thalia dolls. So this is kind of who they made Yas into later on. And you can see the difference in the eye color. So these look exactly like the original Bratz dolls, and then these ones have green eyes. So this is Independence Talia. She was like a Target exclusive, and she's didn't come with an actual name, but she's wearing like mini Independence Chloe clothes, so that's how I think of her. So I got her from Craigslist number 3. Those were the last dolls my dad ever bought me when he was alive, and we went to this seller in our neighboring town who had a bunch of boxed Bratz dolls, and my dad got them for me, and she was one of my very first boxed little Bratz, and I really needed the clothes back then, so I was really excited to have her, and she's super pretty. This is Spring Fling Talia. I believe I got her in a bag from my local flea market. Beach Bash Talia. I also got her from Craigslist 3, but she was one of the few loose dolls. That's why her outfit's like not in the best shape. But I really, really love her. She's one of my favorites. And then this is one of the board game Little Bratz dolls. So she's from 2006. It's called the Passion for Fashion Runway board game. And basically it was marketed with Little Bratz dolls and different clothes, and like you could mix and match the outfits. And it took me forever to figure out who she was and my Chloe doll from the same set. I got them in 2013 in the Laguna bin. So it was just this big, like, nasty bug-infested container of dolls we got at the flea market for some Monster High. And I noticed she was interesting because she has painted panties. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see. And I thought that was interesting because none of my others had that. But she's got the old facial screening, so that's really cool. She was sold with board game. And then this is Nighttime Funk Jade. So she's like a miniature Funk and Glow Jade doll. And I got her and Yas over there and Bratz Guy bin. She was one of my favorites because she looks so much like full-size Express It Jade, and that's one of my favorite Bratz dolls of all time. Then we have second edition Little Bratz Jade. Again, no special name, but this was the second line ever marketed. And this lady I got boxed. She wasn't like still tied down, but I got her and second edition Chloe in an indoor flea market. with my dad in 2011 or 2012, and I was really excited because they were super cheap and they like still had all their stuff. That's why she looks so perfect. And these two twins, I got them together from Bratz bin. So these were two of my very first little Bratz dolls. And when I was identifying them, I looked at them and I'm like, I think these are the same doll. And I'm pretty sure that bin belonged to siblings because there's duplicates of a lot of things. So they're really lucky to have survived because that previous owner was not very nice to their dolls. Then we have Miniature Express It Jade. Again, not the actual name, but you can tell they're perfect replicas of the Express It Jades, except the shoes. They're different colors, but they're the right molds. So I got her boxed, like I said, with my boxed Yasmin, and she's really pretty. This is one of my this is probably my favorite little Bratz Jade doll. And then this one I got in a little baggie, I'm pretty sure, with my loose Express It Yas. Then we have Snow Fun Natalia. So this is when she stopped being Jade and she became Natalia, and you can see she's blue eyes. I have two of them. This was my first one. I got her from Craigslist 3, so she was still boxed. And I was really excited because they look exactly like the Wintertime Wonderland dolls, and I love her glittery makeup, and she's probably my second favorite like Jade Natalia doll. And then I got her in the Bratz shoe bin of 2012. So it's just this lot of mostly naked dolls I bought at the flea market that came with a bunch of Bratz shoes, and I do have her outfit, but someone else is wearing it. And then this is Dancefloor Funk Natalia, modeled after the Formal Funk dolls. And I also got her from the Bratz shoe bin, and I was really excited to have her because in the Bratz guy bin, there was a Dancefloor Funk Natalia with like a pixie haircut, and so that's why I have a little Bratz body donor, so I was really happy to get her. Then we have second edition Chloe, and I got her with this Jade at that indoor flea market. I really like her outfit, and it's funny that I have so many Jades but only one Chloe, and I love her hairstyle. Then we have my 3 miniature Express It Chloes. My first one is this one in the middle here. I got her from Bratz bin, so one of my very first Bratz dolls, and I recognized her right away. I was like, oh, she must be a miniature Express It doll because look at that face. So I'm really nostalgic for these because my very first line of Bratz dolls was Express It as a kid. And then I got her boxed from Craigslist 3, so she probably means the most to me, and you can tell her hair still is in like its original ponytail. And then this lady, I just got her in a bag at the flea market with those other little Bratz I showed you earlier. This girl should look familiar. She came from the Bratz Blitz lot. I have a whole transformation video on the dolls that I got that day. I found her this September at the flea market in a container with a bunch of dolls. She was the only little Bratz doll. She's Fashion Tote Chloe. There's several versions of Fashion Tote dolls. This one was sold with the workout gear. And then this is the board game Chloe doll that goes with Yaz that I got in the Laguna bin, and you can see her painted panties, very interesting. The shoes aren't theirs. Then we're on to Sasha and Zeta. I sadly do not have many of these. I would love to have more, but I don't. So this is first edition Sasha, and yes, she is wearing a very accurate outfit, and look at that face. She's like painted a little wonky, but it's very true to the original doll, like the full size. I got her on eBay with my little Bratz case. Her and Cameron were my 2 favorites. Second edition Sasha. And I got her in the Bratz shoe bin as well. I really wanted that bin, like not just for the Bratz shoes, but because there was some quality little Bratz in there that I was really excited about. So I love her. She's probably my favorite because I think her facial screening is like super pretty. And then this is, I call her Fashion Packs Zeta, so this is when she became Zeta, not Sasha. You can see her eyes are a different color, and she has a really long hair. So basically they marketed the little Bratz in fashion packs, like so scaled down versions of the fashion packs. So you can see here like what hers looks like, and she's beautiful. And then this is the little Bratz Fashion Mall Nevra. I'm going to try not to cry when I talk about this doll. So I have 3 of them. They're all wearing different clothes. So this was my first one. She was from Bratz Guy. I knew exactly who she was when I found her, that she was a miniature Nevra, but I did not know she was sold with the mall. So I thought that was so cool when I got her, and I actually got like some accessories to the mall when I got her. And then this one I bought not long after from 50 Cent Guy at an outdoor flea market because she was wearing a really cool miniature Secret Crush fashion pack. So I knew I had her, but I wanted the fashion pack. She's since changed clothes. But this is my favorite one. I got her from Craigslist 3, and of all the dolls I got in that lot, besides my 2003 Slumber Party Sasha, the full-sized doll, she is my most special. And that's because it was a dream of mine to have that doll as a little kid, because I do remember when it came out, and I really wanted it when I got my first one. What ended up happening is we were going to buy all the dolls. My dad said I could get them all except the guy gave us a price, but then last minute he like changed his mind. He's like, no, I want an extra $25 for the Little Bratz doll because it's so expensive. So I told my dad, like, oh, you don't need to buy it, because we really didn't have the money for it. So we went back in the car, and my dad's like, you really want that, don't you? And so he went back inside, and bear in mind, he was not feeling well this day. That was the last day he was home before he went to the hospital the last time. But he went in, and he bought me that Little Bratz doll, and he came back out with it, and I remember him walking over the snowy driveway holding it for me, and it was my favorite thing to like open up and set up that afternoon. So she means the world to me. She's my favorite one. And then I also got my little coupe Dana, this one right here, boxed from Craigslist 3. She's really cool. I love her face. So this was my first one. I got her in Bratz Guy Bin. It's funny, they had like a lot of really cool little Brats. And then this one I got in the Bratz Shoe Bin in 2012, and she's wearing the Zalia's outfit, as you can see. I think she looks really cute in that. And then she is also another one. I got her at the inside of my flea market in 2015. If you go to my Flickr, my very first treasure hunt photo I ever posted there, she's in that haul photo. I got her with an Express It Megan and a first edition Cameron. I just felt really bad for them because they were just like sitting in there forever, so I bought them even though I didn't need them. Actually, I'm sorry, that's her. This was my first one. So this was my first Dana. This is the one that I got inside at the flea market. That's why she's wearing this outfit. And then we have Spring Break Bike Megan. And I got her at a consignment store. She was in a container with a bunch of full-size Bratz dolls. It was like 20 bucks, but they were all perfect looking. And I had been dying to get a miniature Megan. She looks like exactly like Express It Megan, like the facial screening. Her hairstyle's just different, and that's my favorite Megan doll of all time. So like I really wanted a miniature. So she is thebomb.com. She is one of my favorites in my whole collection. And her swimsuit is awesome. And then we have my boys, because a little Bratz world would not be complete without little stud muffins for the girls to date. Eaton and Dylan, they're really funny looking. I got these two together in a little bag at the flea market. So I got like, I think 2 or 3 baggies of like little Bratz dolls, and there was like a few in each bag. So they're really cool, and these are the first editions and the only ones marketed as like Cameron, Dylan, Eaton, and Coby. They were later changed to like Lakin, and they had like weird names, Miko. But you can see they're wearing first edition clothes, but they're like on the wrong dolls. So like this is Cameron's outfit, this was Coby's outfit. Cameron over here, I got him on eBay in that lot with the case. I really wanted the clothes. I also really wanted Sasha, and I really wanted Cameron. He was my second little Bratz boy. He's awesome. And then we have Coby, who was my first, who is my favorite because he's just darling, because my full-size version of him is one of my favorite Bratz boys in my collection for sentimental reasons. And I got him in 2012 from the Bratz Shoe Bin, and like I said, he was one of the reasons I bought that lot. Like, I saw him in there, and I was like, oh, it's gold! It's a little Bratz boy! He's so amazing! And I just want to point out, like, not to be weird and undressed, but do you see, like, they have the muscles that the full-sized boys have. It's so cute in a kind of creepy way, but it's so cute. So he's my favorite, one of my favorites in my whole collection. And then we have my playsets here. So this is the lounge and loft. This was the original Little Bratz house. They have another version that came out a little bit later. I got this at Savers for like $4. I see it all the time. It's really common. Mine doesn't have any of the furniture, but it has like this little elevator thing, which is really cool. It's not very well made. It's kind of like made of like a paperboard kind of material, but it came with stickers that you could decorate. Mine obviously was secondhand. It's really cool. It folds up really compact, and I just had to get it because I'm obsessed with Little Bratz. And then we have my Little Bratz case. So this is what I got on eBay. This is Megan's bike. And then this is actually the table that goes to the Little Bratz high school. I don't have the high school. I got this randomly in the Bratz shoe bin, but I thought it was really cool and I'd show it to you because it doesn't really look, it looks almost like a Lego thing or something, but I really love this. I use it all the time. And then this is Dana's coupe, which is really well made. Like, this is super heavy. I know it might look chintzy on camera, but it's super heavy, and like it came with all kinds of stuff. And then over here is my favorite thing, the Little Bratz mall. Da, 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 da. So I did set it up for you guys. I'll insert a picture of like all the accessories it came with because it was awesome. Like this was brand new when I got it. So you can see like there's little stores, and this is like the makeup store, and it's got signs you can pull off, and like everything's removable and interchangeable. And then this is like the CD store, and it comes with this really cool lamp post. And then this is the food court up here. This is my favorite part. And then down here is like the movie theater. So there's like the ticket window, and the door is actually open. And then I just put the popcorn thing out here so you could see it. And then these are like the little curtains. And then there's this cute little bench and a payphone. And then these are, I didn't set them up because they go on the back of the mall. But like if you were making them walk in the mall, you could see like what stores they were from the behind. And it comes with these little like lamps. And then this is the waist piece for the escalator, which really does work. Mine doesn't have batteries in it, but you can actually put the doll on here and it will bring them up. And this is like the little walkway. I love how realistic it looks. And like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I loved like realistic doll things, and the fact that they included things like a payphone and like you know, just an escalator, to me that would have been like, I would have done more with this part of the mall than the stores. And you could also buy other stores to go with it, like they advertise them here on my box. So I do have my box because this set's really special to me, and it just holds everything really nice. So they can actually fit all of my little Bratz pieces, like furniture pieces in here, so it's really handy. But this is awesome. I have better pictures of this like all set up on my Flickr. Colin had a lot of fun setting this up for my post called My Story Little Bratz, so if you want to see like it in action with pieces, it looks really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing my Little Bratz collection. I really love all of these dolls, and they're super detailed considering how tiny they are. I mean, they even have, like, if you didn't know, they even have like the feet that you pull off, which is awesome. And their little like nubs here are super sturdy. And they all have saran hair, which is amazing. Like most of the time, really small dolls have like that super cheap like nylon or Connect-Lon hair. And their faces are so detailed. I really love them. Some of their clothes aren't all hemmed just because they're so small, but most of them are made with, like, some of them are even made with real denim, which is pretty awesome. So I personally think like they're a really great quality little doll that would be great for like little kids to play with, because I mean, I would have died if I had these as a little kid. I just loved miniatures. They're just as nice as like the Dawn dolls from the 70s, and they're even tinier. Yeah, if you want to see pictures of these dolls or their clothes, if you're looking to identify stuff, feel free to check out my Flickr. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.